So it's still pretty much the exact same game plan that I've had for the last couple of months. We have all of this accumulation here on the higher time frames that's yet to be tested because we are distributing into resistance right here. The next thing that I think price is going to do is retest the accumulation that is yet to be tested. So we have a sweep of all these lows and a break in structure, and then we took out all of these lows here. This is the high. You could argue this high maybe as well. That was responsible for running this low. Since this leg up here, we haven't yet retested it. Up here, we're seeing some pretty obvious signs of distribution. So if we're seeing distribution and there's previous accumulation that needs to be tested, I think it's pretty obvious that we're just going to come down and test it. If we go into the H1, you can see the distribution is pretty clear. So all of these equal highs were run out by this low. We come down, we close below, and we continue to sell off. So on the lower time frames here, we have some distribution as well, and then up here as well. Last week, this is where we managed to get into a decent short position. So we took out this high. There's a lower time frame low right here that was responsible for taking that high. And then all of these equal highs here, retesting the original low from this distribution, and then dropping off after taking out all those highs. And then the exact same thing coming up here. This shit is really like clockwork. You don't see this often, but when you do see it, when the price action is this clear and the distribution is this clear, then the best thing to do is compound, which is what we did last week. Reaching into that distribution, distributing again. We then had this high here taken out, another drop off. We retested that and we dropped off. So the original entry was here because we had a sweep here and then a break in structure. So it was in this zone. And we saw a little bit of a drop off as we returned. Rather than closing the position, I compounded because of how fucking clean the rest of the distribution is. There's nothing bullish about this chart. I could be wrong. If we come up here and we get a daily close up above this level, then maybe on the retest you could look to long. But based on everything else that I'm seeing, I think leaning bearish is probably the smarter play. So it's almost exactly the same. A sweep here. It's not really ideal because of the range, like the broken base range that we have, but it is technically still a sweep. So we have a sweep, a break in structure, a sweep, and a break in structure right here. And this is the level that I'm going to keep a close eye on. So just like BTC, we have accumulation during the leg up that hasn't yet been retested. And now we have all of these equal lows resting here. So I think the next obvious thing for price to do is retest this. And on top of that, we've taken out this key swing high right here. And then we got a KSRP on the lower time frame. So we got some distribution up above this key swing high. We got the distribution here on the lower time frames. We dropped down, we took out these equal highs, we continue to distribute, and then the exact same thing here. We've taken out these equal highs. This is the low that took those highs, broke below, and now we're still dropping. So we've taken out the key high, all of this distribution, we have all of this accumulation that's yet to be tested, and this is how I kind of form my bias. When you have all the distribution here at resistance and you have all of these levels that need to be tested, all of this liquidity here, to me it's pretty obvious that we're going to drop off. The next thing to do is obviously to actually act on that. This setup is similar to what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. So you have a sweep there, we just got this break in structure. So the next thing I would wait for is a retest of the candle that actually took out the high, and then on the lower time frames we have these equal highs as well. So if we can around New York take out those highs, distribute here at the low that took out the high, get more distribution somewhere in this zone, I think it's easy shorts. We got all of these equal lows here, all of these lows as well. So the dollar looks like it's going to struggle to find some support here, but we just have to wait and see. And then obviously the traditional markets, like we had NASDAQ, ES, everything rallying last week as well. We have a sweep of this low right here. This high is the high that was responsible for taking that low. So this is the accumulation that led to the current breakout that we're seeing. We are technically just retesting some distribution here. What I'm going to do is wait for price to hopefully retest this level. If we can get some accumulation there around here, then that would be good for the bearish buyers obviously, but we'll just have to wait and see. Most likely scenarios for us to just chop about. So if we are lying right between obvious distribution and accumulation like this, what tends to happen is we just chop about. So I think that's what will happen. But even if it does chop about, if the bearish setups are still clear on BTC and ETH, I'll still take those. So we're retesting this trend line here. So I won't just draw a trend line and then blindly enter, but if I see some accumulation at the low of a trend line like we did get right here, then I'll take it. But at the top of this range, we do have some distribution. So we took out this high here, left equal highs, but I'm just worrying about this. So we took out this high and then we broke below the low that took that high. We did take out all of these equal lows here and we got a break in structure. So as long as this low right here holds and we don't fall out of this trend line, then I think the next thing that we're going to do is retest about 2008. Once we get there, if we do see a run up like this, let's say, and then we get some distribution there, then I'll definitely look at, you know, cutting the bullish bias. And if we drop down below the trend line after that and get some more distribution, then that would just further solidify a bearish bias. We have these equal lows here. Looks like a short to me, buddy. Not really any obvious distribution, I guess, but we do have these equal lows. So at least until we take them, then I doubt we see another leg up, at least until we take them anyway. So go down onto the M15. It actually looks pretty good. So we have some equal highs here. Okay, some distribution. We've taken out this. See how this high took out this low? We saw the big drop. Now we've just taken it out. So I like these kind of moves. So we have the first confirmation now. And now we have these equal highs as well. If you can wait for price to retrace up here, if we get some more distribution there, and BTC and ETH also putting a similar story, then that'd be a really, really good short opportunity. XRP. We have some distribution here. So sweep, break, sweep, break. XRP's never been clean for this strategy anyway. So as long as this high here holds, then I think shorts are the way to go. And maybe we chop around here. Maybe you get a setup. I don't like trading this, especially intraday. The price action's always just fucking shit. But as long as this DC here holds, I think shorts, if we break up above here, and let's say you get a daily close above there, then I think we come up and we run out this high. Now, if we take out that high and get some distribution above there, then that's a good swing short. But until then, shorts, as long as this holds. So you have equal lows here. We have a sweep here. Okay, so this could be your first objective. If you don't get any accumulation here and it continues to drop, then target these equal lows. I'll take a look at FTM. I was really hoping we would get one more sweep here. I don't think we're going to get anything too clean on this now. We kind of missed the cleaner move before these lows were taken out. The time to get short was in here or all the way up here. But now that we're all the way down here, we're reaching into this accumulation. So we have a sweep and a break here, and then another sweep and another break. So what I really wouldn't want to do now is look for swing shorts into support. That makes no sense. In saying that, if we do get a bit of a run up here, something like that, and then some distribution here, like a double confirmation, as we reach back into this range, then you could maybe look to re-short it. I would rather get short a little bit higher up though after taking out these highs. We just have to wait and see. There's nothing on FDM now though. There's better things to be trading at the moment. Wait for a retest of these levels where you can then look to get short, or if we continue up and we get a strong daily or weekly close above all of these highs here, then you could look at possibly getting into some swing longs. 80A. This looks interesting actually. So I definitely, like, just by looking at this, I'm using the exact same rules that we've used on everything else. We had a sweep of all these lows here. We had a break, and this whole run up, we haven't yet retested it. So I think it just makes sense for us to retest this level before even thinking about a new leg up. Okay, now we have a sweep of all these highs. We've got a break in structure here. So now we can break it down, see if there's any other levels so we can look at. So we have all of this consolidation here. We've got, this is the actual low that took out these highs that we could wait for a retest of. Best thing to do would be to wait for price to chop about as we reach back into here. And then once we do get a sweep and a second confirmation, then look to get into some swing shorts. Yeah, I think we head all the way down here. There's this demand, I guess, as well that you could have as your first target. But unless we get a daily close up above here or a weekly close up above here, then I think shorts are pretty clean. So chop about here, get in once you see a sweep and a double confirmation, or reach up a little bit higher and then look for the double confirmation there. But this is bearish until we reach here or here. Yeah, this looks like shit. This is going to be so fun to get into shorts, man. There's so much money to be made to short in this thing. Alright, so if we do get a leg up back into here, any distribution on this retest on the daily or the H4 is an easy short. Once we get that, we have these equal lows here, but then between these equal lows and all of this consolidation and accumulation here, there's literally just fucking air, bro. So I think this week we retest this level, get some more distribution and sell off. Once we run out the equal lows, we'll probably see another leg up. So it'd be wise to cut most of the shorts there. But if we don't get any accumulation there, then this thing is just fucking going straight back down into this range. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, we're shorting everything to fucking zero this week. I'm personally going to be upping my risk a decent amount. We've got FOMC, CPI, all this shit happening with Binance and Coinbase. Some of the cleanest price action that I've seen in the last few months. So it's time to just up the risk and fucking pray. In my opinion, don't fucking copy me, bros. That's what I'm doing.